number of history curriculum for elementary has exploded in recent years. Looking at the past 5 years, but even further back to the 15 years ago when I started homeschooling, there are so many more choices, especially if you're looking for a secular one. So today, I thought we would chat about 3 history programs that I wish had been around when my kids were younger. And as I was gathering up this list, I want to make sure I give a variety of different options. So while they're all very similar in some ways, they each have a different emphasis as far as who it might be good for. So let's chat about 3 and see if they might be perfect for your homeschool. The first one, if you are looking for something that is flexible but structured, this one might be for you, and it is River of Voices. It is a U.S. history program. The plans themselves are $36 plus the books. But what I mean by flexibility is this. They give you lots of options. They give you the basic plan. If you just want an open and go program that is going to be enjoyable, but a little more minimally done, they've got that plan for you. Then there's a second layer, which adds in a bit more activities, that sort of thing. But if you really want to go in, if this year you want to make U.S. history kind of the core of your day and build literature around it, etc., then they also have a level for you for that. And what I like about, besides having those 3 options, is that if you have a week where you're going to be pushing it to get anything done, go with the minimal week. But if you have a week where maybe all your activities are canceled for the week, maybe it's a snow week, that sort of thing, and you've got extra time on your hand, well, then you can go with the or the more deluxe version as well. So I really love that you can do it on a week-by-week basis of however that week looks for you. You can pick a plan or pick a level that will work for you. Sometimes in homeschool, we get so stuck in the way we start the year that we forget that we can change whenever and however often that we want. And so this one just has a really nice variety that you can make work for you. Oh, and I should say that is from Blossom and Root. And besides the curriculum I'm talking about today, I have a blog post that lists even more choices, so I will leave that link down there as well. Now, if you are looking for one that can be used for multiple ages and has a lot of discussion included and encouraged, then Oh Freedom might be a choice for you. Oh Freedom is I just realized I didn't bring the rest of my notes, so I don't know what the price is. I think it was right around $40 plus the books. Now, Oh Freedom is another U.S. history one with an emphasis on telling the stories of the others. The old adage about history is written by the victors is the opposite of what Oh Freedom is. And she specifically tries to show the stories and tell the stories of minorities and how they see the history of the United States and how they experience, not just see it, but how they experienced it. The person who wrote it, I forget what her name is, but she tells the story of how she came to writing her own curriculum as a person of color and how she developed it to tell those stories of everyone else. Now, if you want a curriculum that is written to the student, then History Quest might be a good option for you. This is by Pandia Press. We used their Real Science Odyssey Astronomy last year, and this coming year we're going to use their History Compass, which is it's a social studies program, but it's more about thinking like a historian and learning to critically analyze like a historian, etc. It's a high school program. I will leave the video for it down there. I did a flip through. I'm really excited about it. We have not used any of their history already though. It is a cyclical, 4-year cyclical cycle for it, which I really enjoyed that with Story of the World, which I guess I didn't say, but you may know if you've been around. I used Story of the World and we really, really loved it. Ben is actually going to use the medieval high school level one this coming year. And that's not how I learned history, and probably not how you learned history growing up. I really enjoy that way of seeing what's going on in the whole world at roughly the same time and how they connect in ways that a traditional textbook like what I grew up with doesn't do. Like you learn about ancient Greece and then you learn about ancient Rome, and you learn all these different parts, but not how they form the whole puzzle picture of what the world is like. And so that's something that I really like about History Quest, and about so many of the curriculum that are out there now for elementary. There are so many more that do that besides the Mystery of History and Story of the World were really the two that did it back when I started homeschooling. It is a little more expensive from the outset. So if you are a family who usually buys like the literature books to go with it, or like with Lost Monroe or Story of the World, then this price isn't high at all. But if you're a family like we tend to do, where you buy the plan and then get most of your books from the library, $72 for the student text and the teacher text might seem like a lot. Now the student text, my understanding is that it has writing in it like Real Science Odyssey. So if you plan to use it again for a second kiddo, then maybe you could just have them write on a separate sheet of paper, or just buy that again, but keep the teacher textbook. So $72 for the student and the teacher. And while it's not exactly the same, if you go check out my flip through of History Compass or Real Science Odyssey Astronomy, you get a sense of the format that History Quest uses.